What is going on YouTube? It's your boy Spanko, and today I'm back with a Fortune Very Invoked deck profile. Now this is a little bit different. It's a deck that I've been working on for a while now. If you guys want to see the deck list, like I say always, the link to my Discord will be in the description below. I always post the deck list in the Discord. So if you guys want to see the whole deck right in front of you and maybe build it yourself, the deck list will be on my Discord, so you can go check out the Discord for that. This deck is really fun. It's definitely meant to go second, and you kind of just want to link spam and OTK. You special summon a lot with this deck, and I'll just get into the profile and show you guys what I mean by how this deck link spams, and I'll show you how these cards work basically. So all the Fortune Fairy monsters have the same effect, where if they're drawn you can special summon them, and they all have a separate effect based off when they are special summoned. All their effects are once per turn though. Before I get into this profile, one last thing I want to say: if you guys enjoy these kind of rogue deck profiles, let me know in the comment section down below, and consider subscribing to the channel and liking this video. So first things first is triple Fortune Fairy Chi. Fortune Fairy Chi is, again, if you draw the card you can reveal it, special summon it from your hand. So if this card is special summoned, you can make each player draw one card. So it might not sound too good, but the thing is, in this deck, when you draw cards, you want to draw it to your Fortune Fairy monsters because they will all special summon themselves, right? Also, you don't mind your opponent drawing because the whole point of this deck is to spam monsters and kind of just borrow sword OTK. You know, the standard borrow sword like one shot kind of thing. So that's why you wanted to play all the Fortune Fairies. So I also max out on Sui. So if you guys don't know, Sui, when it's special summoned, you can target one face-up monster on the field and banish it until the standby phase of your next turn. The reason I play 3 of this is because you actually don't want there to be a next turn. You want to just win when you have these cards on your field, because you're going to make borrow sword as soon as possible, and then as soon as you make borrow sword, you want to just be able to OTK. So that's why Fortune Fairy Sui is a 3 of. The rest of them I play 2 of. I think I only play 2 of this one actually. So 2N, when this card is special summoned, target a set card your opponent controls, so it helps you get rid of back row in that sense. That's why 2N. And then I just play 1 of. So 1 of Hikari. Hikari special summons a level 1, which isn't that necessary, but I just needed it for another name because, like I said, all the Fortune Fairy monsters are once per turn. So I needed different names because if you draw into the same Fortune Fairy monsters, it doesn't really do much. 1N, if this card is special summoned, you can banish a spellcaster monster from your deck. You don't need to do that, again, you just because it's special summoned. And then 1 Who. This one, when it's special summoned, you can target one of your banished spellcasters and special summon them. So it does work hand in hand with Anne. The only problem is you don't see them too often. You don't really need them for those effects. Those are mostly just different names so that you can draw them and special summon them. And then lastly, for your basically main engine is your 3 Alistar, because this gets you to your invoked monsters. It gets you to your extra deck. And basically Alistar and the Invoked is probably one of the best normal summons in the deck. You never really want to normal summon any of these monsters. You just kind of want to special summon them. So when you draw them, there are ways to special summon them that are not, like, let's say you have them in your opening hand. There are ways to special summon them outside of that, but the reason you play these is because you want to be able to draw into them as soon as possible. Also, the Invoker, again, gets you into your Invoke plays. And then for your draw engine, guys, I'm sorry, I have to proxy 1 Spellbook Magician of Prophecy. I literally cannot find one anywhere, but 1 Prophecy, because that means we are playing the Spellbook engine. Spellbook engine is really good in this deck because Alistar is a spellcaster that you can use knowledge on. Spellbook Magician of Prophecy is a spellcaster, but all of these are also spellcasters. So if you need to, worst case scenario, you can normal summon one of these and then draw 2 cards, right? Hopefully, if you draw into the other ones, you can special summon them and then go from there. So that's why Spellbook Magician of Prophecy, and I think the knowledge engine is really good. And then 1 Eperia. So Eperia is really good as well because basically these are your 5 normal summons in the deck. You don't want to play more because you don't really want to see too many normal summons. You want to see all these special summons, right? So basically with these normal summons, this one, if it's normal summon, you get to draw a card and then you make it into Almirage to give you a link arrow, right? So that's why you kind of play Eperia, because it can go into Almirage, but it basically gets you a draw. So on normal summon, if you draw one of your Fortune Fairies, that's basically a free link too, because you're going to be able to draw and summon a card right there. Then for hand traps, I play double Nibiru in the main deck. I like this card. You want to go second. If your opponent overextends and you summon a Nibiru and then they just, you know, pass or something in that point, then you can just probably you can most likely OTK from there. So that's why I like Nibiru at 2. And then 3 Ash, because Ash is really good for 2 reasons. 1, because it's a fire monster and that helps you make Purgatrio, and Purgatrio is also really good because Purgatrio does help you OTK. So there's that, and there's also the most generic hand trap, which is why I like to play it at 3, because it's just the most generic one that hits every deck and you can always hit a card with Ash, whereas some of the other hand traps are more situation, and I wanted to avoid situation. I want it to be always relevant. The only thing with Nibiru is against more control-based decks, this card is not as relevant, but it still provides a light monster for Makaba, which is why I like Nibiru at 2. Also, again, if you can Nibiru your opponent and they pass, you're probably just going to win the next turn. So onto the spell cards, we are, of course, playing Triple Meltdown. This is your best card. This gets you all your invoked plays. Obviously, the more searching you can do in this deck, the better, because you get through your deck faster. When you draw, you don't want to be drawing into these. You want to draw into your Fortune Fairy monsters. So basically, you just want to do all your searching first, and then once you get all your searching done, then you can start drawing, because in that sense, you'll have a higher chance of drawing your Fortune Fairy monsters. So that's why I like Meltdown at 3, because as soon as you get to this, you get to Alistar. Alistar gets you to Invocation, so that's 3 cards now out of your deck, and then now when you start drawing, you have more of a chance to draw your Fortune Fairy monsters. To complement that, we do have 1 Terraforming, of course, to search this, very important. 2 Invocations, you don't want to play 3. I think 2 is just the right number. It's always searchable with Alistar, and then if you draw 1, it's actually pretty good as well. People don't understand also with Invocation is it's just a polymerization, so you can actually summon a lot of other monsters with Invocation other than just the invoked monsters, which is why I actually really like Invocation at 2. And then 1 Book of Law, because for the invoked engine, it's pretty good. It helps you OTK. Once you have another like monster on board, you'll attack, and then you can quick play Book of Law to summon another invoked monster, a bigger one, and then attack again. So that's why Book of Law is really good. Next, for the 2 Fortune Fairy spell cards, it's actually 2 Unacceptable Result. So this card is really good because if you control a spellcaster monster, special summon 1 Fortune Fairy monster from your hand. So this is what I meant when if you draw in your opening hand your Fortune Fairy monsters, you can just special summon them for free with Unacceptable Result. So if you draw something like Chi, if you open this, because you want to open this, right? And then activate this to special summon it, you get another draw right there, right? So that's why Unacceptable Result is really good at a 2. I don't like it at 3 because if you see it without Fortune Fairy monsters in your hand, it's not good at all, right? So 2 is a really good ratio. And then I also play double Spellbook of Secrets as well as triple Spellbook of Knowledge. The reason I play triple is because all of your monsters other than your hand traps and the Iperia or Ipara are spellcasters, so this card is always going to be relevant. Even if you open it, opening it is obviously really good. You'll still want to search it out because like I said, you want to do all your searching first and then you're drawing, and so you can even search a second one. Your opponent really won't know you have a second one, so then once you search it, then you can start drawing because you have less cards in your deck, which means more chance to draw your Fortune Fairy monsters, which is obviously really good. And then like I said, we are going second, so triple super polymerization. This helps you just win. Obviously being able to break your opponent's boards is insanely good, so that's why triple super poly, I think this is necessary to play at 3. And then the last card I play in the main deck is just 3 traps, which is 3 infinite impermanence. I think this card is so amazing right now. I think infinite impermanence is one of the better hand traps, and again, it's also a trap card, so if you're forced to go first, at least you can set it, and then now you have a trap obviously to back you up. And so that's why I like to play this at a 3 of, but otherwise I think these ratios are all perfect. You see the cards when you need to see them, and then you can out pretty much any board with these cards. So that's it for the main deck. It is a 41 card main deck. Moving on to the extra deck, we are playing 1 Invoked Macabre. I don't want to play more than 1 because like I said, you want to just OTK with this deck, you want to go second and win. So I'm just playing the 1 Macabre. Also, the only light you're playing in the deck is Nibiru, so you're really relying on your opponent to have light monsters in the grave for Macabre, so that's why I didn't want to play too many. I just wanted to play the 1. Obviously it's really good if you're going first. Also it's really good because you can actually still make this and then still OTK because 2,500 plus double Boros Sword should be game anyways. So that's why I still like to play the 1 of, but you don't want to play 2 ofs. Same thing with Purgatrio. Purgatrio is a really good card to just help you OTK, but you don't need to play 2 of. I think it's out of 1 of is fine because you're gonna make it, and then once you make it, you should be winning anyways, right? So 1 Purgatrio, 1 Raging, same logic. Play 1 of the Earth one. I forget these names; they're kind of all foreign if you guys can't see, but 1 of the Earth one as well as 1 of the Elysium. This one's actually really good because it's actually a really nutty card. It's a little bit harder to make, but when you make this, you kind of just auto win. And like I said, you kind of have space in this extra deck where you just want to be able to make one of your invoked monsters, make Boros Sword, and just win. So that's why I didn't want to max out on all the invoked monsters. I just played these ones because these are the ones that you'll make. Most of the times you'll be making this Earth one off of Book of Law, because what you'll do is, let's say you make a Raijin or you make a Macabre or whatever, when you attack, and then you can quick play Book of Law, and this card is a 3,000 attack monster, so it can just help you OTK in that sense. That's why I play this one. This one in the grind game, especially in the late game, this card could be amazing. The only problem is it needs an invoked monster, which means you need to use one of these. But again, in the mid to late game, if you guys make it to the mid to late game, this is really good to summon. And then for super poly targets, I am playing 1 Starving Venom Fusion Dragon, 1 Violet Camaro, and I am sorry, I do not have a Mud Dragon. I do not know why I don't have a Mud Dragon, but 1 Mud Dragon as well. Mud Dragon is really good just because in those odd situations where these two don't come up, Mud Dragon can possibly come up. And being able to just super poly your opponent's monsters and then have a card on your side of the field which you can be used for a link material or a link summon is really good. Next, for the link monsters, you are playing 1 Boros Sword because like I said, if you can make Boros Sword and then an invoked monster, you're pretty much just winning the game anyways. 1 Lambda. Lambda is really good because if you choose a side deck, I'm not going to be showing you guys a side deck for this profile. In your side deck, I highly recommend playing Gamma, so Lambda is really good with Gamma, so that's why I like that. Nightmare Phoenix as well as Nightmare Unicorn, I think these two are really good. Just utility cards, standard utility cards. 1 Alistar, the Invoker of Madness. This card is really good. You pretty much always want to make this with your Alistar and then another monster. You make this, you're going to do all your searching, then you can try to make Boros Sword. Again, if you get into your Fortune Fairy monsters, you make Boros Sword, then you make one of these, and then you're just going to win, right? So that's the whole point of the deck, right? So Alistar, the Invoker of Madness lets you do that. 1 Underclock Taker, because like I said, if you have to make make a generic link to that points down, Underclock Taker is really good. And then it also helps you again OTK, because you can actually summon your opponent's Nibiru token in attack position, activate Underclock Taker with like a Makaba or something big under it, and then it'll go down, and then you can probably just attack over it in that sense. So if you can't unicorn it away or anything like that, then that's why you have the Underclock Taker, just to get rid of the Nibiru token, and then you're just going to win that way. And then one Almirage, because like I said, most of your normal summons can make Almirage, and it just gives you an arrow pointing down, which is why I really like it. It also helps you make Alistar the Invoker of Madness really easily. So that's it for the extra deck. It is obviously a 15 card extra deck. So thank you guys for watching. I hope you guys like this deck profile. If you guys have any suggestions or any changes to make, let me know in the comment section down below. Like I said, the deck list will be on the Discord, so you can check that out. The link will also be in the description below for that. Also, one thing I wanted to mention is these kind of decks, this kind of deck was very like thought up on the spot for me. I was like, hey, what can I do with these Fortune Fairies? Because I want to do something with these. I want to make a deck profile with these, and I want to make it good and consistent and competitive. And the thing is, I realized they're all different attributes, and I thought, hey, different attributes, that could work really well with the Invoked engine. So that's why I thought, that's what my reasoning behind this. If you guys want to see like a pure Fortune Fairy or different Invoked variants, let me know in the comment section down below. Like I said, if you enjoyed, like this video, subscribe to the channel. 2,500 subs is my goal by the end of 2019. We're almost there. We're at 22 something. Just like 200 something more to go. We can do it. I think we can do it. I swear we can do it. If you guys enjoyed, subscribe, like. Yeah. That's Spanko signing out.
My hands steady, I feel ready, but my legs heavy, I don't get it. How come I haven't hit it already? Still working, I'm still learning, I'm still searching, finally earning something, finally turning something called a profit. If I hear you talking shit, don't get caught in it. I'll be popping off and hit your ass, dropping all your shit. Yeah, I promise this, I got promises, you ain't stopping this. Cross my shit.